Oh my God.
Look at this guy.
I just can't, and it's been killing me because of the whole secrecy thing, because I want to go around and go like, hey, wait to get on wires. I'm open for anything. I'm ready to go. And that's about it, to be honest with you.
In today's video, we're going to be continuing our coverage on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also talking about some recent rumors that's been going around about Tobey Maguire doing Spider-Man 4 could potentially be pretty much confirmed already to be happening, and also we'll be going over some Doctor Strange 2, more leaks and rumors as you guys keep asking for that content. So yo, what is good YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any videos. It really helps push the channel into the algorithm. Comment 500 times, subscribe, turn notifications on, share this video everywhere. If you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. And if you want to check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. I've got 13 followers over there. I'm trying to grow a community on the Twitter sphere, the Warstu sphere. So check us out on Twitter. Right, let's get into this video. So the first topic, so to speak, in today's video is actually going to be talking about Tobey Maguire. Now, there's been a lot of reports and rumors going around, and I heard a lot of information post No Way Home and before No Way Home coming out, and I said that Andrew and Tobey Maguire would be in that movie and that Tobey Maguire signed on for multiple projects. Now, everyone has been talking about that recently. I was one of the first channels on YouTube to talk about Tobey and Andrew pretty much not being done, and everyone else is still confirming that. Now, for some reason, there is this release date of May the 6th, 2024 going around for Tobey Maguire to finish his movies and do Spider-Man 4, and presumably Andrew getting his own Spider-Man 3, which would be very fascinating if that was the case. So recently, Tobey was actually asked what is going on and would he be down, and his response was this: I'm ready for anything. I'm ready to go. Do you want Tobey in Spider-Man 4? So also there's some other tidbits. I'm not really going to give any accreditation here because it just seems that everyone's throwing stuff at the wall. So from what we understand, Sony is pushing really hard to kill Tobey off in a future movie, and it's been discussed that potentially he would be killed in Secret Wars or some multiversal storyline. They want Tobey to essentially pass the torch to Tom properly in some heroic way, but there is so many different stories. There's another story saying that Tobey did sign a multiple deal contract with Marvel and Sony at the time of signing on for No Way Home, and he is expected to do Spider-Man 4 with Sammy Raimi back. Now that would be freaking cool. But apparently, Sony's interested in making Spider-Man 4 with Tobey, but it all depends on Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of the Madness. Now, as we know, Tobey Maguire will be in this movie. It's pretty much confirmed. His dubbing actor was seen with Scarlet Witch, Wanda's dubbing actor, so he's pretty much in the movie. It is basically confirmed. And there's a similar scenario with Andrew Garfield as supposedly appearing in Morbius, although it's not actually being confirmed. It is interesting that no one seems to care about Morbius, and there's even some information going around that Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, and more will be returning for Spider-Man 4. There's literally 2 different release dates going around. There's May the 4th, 2023, and May the 4th, 2024 going around. I thought I'd throw this in at the start of the video because, as we know, Spider-Man No Way Home is one of the biggest movies in the world, and it will be for a very long time, only because of Tobey and Andrew appearing in the movie, and also because Tobey said, I'm ready to go, I want to do anything and everything. So we know Tobey's game. We definitely know Andrew's game. So it's just a matter of time. Will Sony tap up Andrew and Tobey for other movies other than cameo roles inside other people's movies? Because we know they are not just back for one role. So let me know down below, guys, what do you think? Do you want Tobey to do Spider-Man 4? Do you want Andrew to do Spider-Man 3? And do you want Tom Holland to do his own Spider-Man 3? But we already know that one's definitely happening. So let's talk about Multiverse of the Madness. Now, the cameos for this movie are going to be absolutely insane. But what I find interesting is some of the scoopers seem to be backtracking and going against what they previously said, because if you understand what news and journalism is, you can update a story. So a story came out a few days ago from someone called Joel from the Illuminati. As of now, the latest cut of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness does not include Magneto, Deadpool, Tom Cruise, Wolverine, Bold the Brave, or Warstu. Yeah, I tagged it in because you guys love it. But what's interesting is the same person said that Wolverine would be in the movie, but it's not going to be Hugh Jackman. Now, I think I know what's going on here, is no one knows what's going on. They could literally insert Hugh Jackman's face onto a different person's actor, like they've done many times before. Deadpool is 100% in this movie. It doesn't matter what the likes of Don Campion, the Spider-Man No Way Home leaker, said. Deadpool is definitely in this movie. As far as we here on this channel understand, he's actually in the movie, but it's actually a post-credit scene to set up Deadpool 3, and he's got a slight cameo in the movie. As you can clearly see, there is a VFX image going around of Deadpool in one of the Illuminati time prisons, I believe they're calling it. So that is happening. Now, as for the Tom Cruise superior Iron Man not being in his movie, you've got to read what was actually said before it got deleted. As of now, the latest cut. Now, as far as we understand, I've reached out to multiple sources about this over the last couple of days, is Disney is screening a lot of different interpretations of Multiverse of the Madness. Some with certain characters appearing in the form of a cameo, and some without, to confuse the audience and to confuse spoilers, leakers, and things like that. Why? Because these people going to attend these Disney screeners actually work for Disney, because Disney don't do external screeners, they only do internal screeners, and it wouldn't be very hard for them to do face swapping in terms of when they did reshoots, because that's how they did Patrick Stewart's Professor X, allegedly. If you remember during Mandalorian, the Luke Skywalker cameo that sent the internet crazy, they did that in a similar manner, and they kept that secret from literally everyone. If Marvel really wanted to keep secrets of which certain characters and which actors were going to be appearing, they literally could slide Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, into this movie if they wanted to. So I do find it cute that some scoopers who work for certain websites like to take the presidents like they are the gospel truth. Magneto, Tom Cruise, Deadpool, Wolverine, not in this movie, when realistically they could be. If you remember over 1 year ago, everyone said Tobey and Andrew was in it. No one believed them, even though there was visual evidence. Now, we have visual evidence for Deadpool. We have visual evidence for Tom Cruise. We have some tidbits for Magneto. We pretty much have confirmation of Bold the Brave. Wolverine, we don't have any official information for that. I just find it very interesting how a lot of these so-called Twitter sphere scoopers are seeming to kind of backtrack, and then you go by, I guess you could say, the scooper that most people trust. And like I always say, I don't take precedence over anyone, regardless to how much social media influence, Twitter clout they have. My Time to Shine claims the following will be in this movie. But like I say, just because they've got nearly 70,000 followers literally means nothing. Means absolutely nothing. But according to this user, I believe it is a female, she said the following will be in this movie when it comes to cameo. Now, Patrick Stewart, Professor X, Captain Carter, Captain Marvel, Mr. Fantastic, Black Bolt, Clea, Bold the Brave, and Magneto. But then you look at the other supposed scooper, Joe from the Illuminati, says that Bold the Brave and Magneto isn't in the movie. But it's the wording in the latest cuts. They're not doing crazy amounts of cuts for this movie. There will be a few, but it's not going to be excessive amounts of cuts for this. Now, based on recent information and track record, My Time to Shine seems decent, but like I keep saying, all the information for No Way Home was on Reddit literally 6 months before the movie coming out. And it just appears to me that certain scoopers have taken information from Reddit and have kind of made a few guesses, and they've built some crowd or some creditation in that way. So as for who's going to appear in this movie, we don't know who's going to appear in this movie, but we do know one thing: Marvel is being very misleading in the most recent Doctor Strange 2 trailer. Oh, there's a whole scene where Wanda's there and it's an absolute illusion. If you remember during Infinity War, Endgame, and even Spider-Man No Way Home, they did CGI edit some stuff out, they did repurpose shots, they did manipulate you into thinking something else was going to happen, but it wasn't going to happen. So, what do we know about Doctor Strange 2? We know a lot. We know that Wanda will essentially be manipulated by the Darkhold, and at some point she will try to absorb the book. We know that in theory, it should be Chthon being behind everything, and him wanting to, I guess you could say, use America Chavez's powers and Wanda's powers in order to break out. And he's doing that by manipulating Wanda with the voices of her children. It's a fascinating storyline. But then some Twitter scoopers basically want you to believe if Wanda really is the villain, and that I really don't think that's going to be the case. Marvel are the masters of manipulation, and they want you to think something's going to happen when it's not going to happen. We all remember the scene in Wakanda in Infinity War where Hulk is running all the other Avengers, and he didn't even appear in that scene. There is so much manipulation in the trailers, it's unreal. And realistically, the first trailer we got, everyone thought that Superior Strange was going to be the villain, the evil Strange. Now it's Wanda, but realistically, we all know it's actually Chthon. We know that for sure. Patrick Stewart has actually finally confirmed that he will be returning in a recent interview with Jake Talks. Now, I don't believe old media is very good anymore, but there's a few interviewers like Jake's Talks who does really good interviews. I'm never really interested in listening or watching an interview to do with any movies, but Jake Talks is a really good interviewer. So if you haven't already, check out his interview with Patrick Stewart, where he finally does go ahead and confirm he is in the movie, which is interesting because Bruce Campbell came out and said, well, I shot a scene, I don't know if they're going to use it. So I think they're using this as part of marketing. It's the same when my good buddy Ryan Reynolds came out and said, yeah, I'm not in the movie, even though we know he's in the movie. So I think they are going to gradually have more and more actors teasing that they're going to be in the movie. They're not going to be in the movie. They filmed some scenes. I mean, I've heard that Warstu actually filmed some scenes as well in Atlanta, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. It's very fascinating. So also in the news, one character we haven't mentioned is Cyclops. Will appear in Doctor Strange 2. According to Moth Culture, as I said, I don't take any precedence when I talk about all these Twitter influencers, if you like, these Twitter scoopers, but they are claiming a rumor Cyclops will only have an animated cameo role in Doctor Strange 2. I mean, as I said in multiple other videos, they're going to merge all the universes and they're going to have to destroy the Fox universe essentially to rebuild them or recast them or use the same characters from the other universe. So we know that every single member of the X-Men is going to turn up in this, including Sophie Turner, Jean Grey. She gets into a fight, goes full Phoenix mode on Wanda, and somehow Wanda beats her. I mean, Wanda's power levels in this movie are gonna be OP. They really are gonna be OP because there was some rumor going around that the Watcher traps Wanda in some kind of vortex, and she just breaks out of it like it's nothing. Wanda's gonna be unstoppable in this movie unless Chthon comes through and does something. Also in the news, there has been no end of what if Tom Cruise isn't in this movie. And what is interesting is I can't find the origin, but this is a tidbit off Twitter. It basically implies that Tom Cruise might actually become a variant of Ironmonger in the reality where Stain defeated Tony Stark. The theory is certainly interesting for at least one reason. It allows Marvel to avoid bringing back any version of Iron Man and potentially sullying Downey Jr.'s legacy. Tom Cruise could play Ironmonger for at least one movie, and maybe Robert Downey Jr. would deliver the alternate Iron Man version from the multiverse in a different film. Doctor Strange 2 is the next multiverse movie, but it's not going to be the only one. Or is it? I've heard some rumors that this is going to close the whole multiversal storyline. And I've also heard a rumor that there actually is going to be another Iron Man in this movie. And it's actually going to be Robert Downey Jr. from another universe, voiced by the same actor. And apparently they're keeping this under wraps and they're keeping it so out there, just like they did with a Luke Skywalker cameo role in the Mandalorian series. But I don't know if that's real or not. I'm just putting it out there. I just put things out there. I don't know if it's real or not, but it is fascinating because most people are more interested to do with the cameo roles rather than what's actually going on in the movie, which is, it's kind of interesting, I guess. But the cameo roles don't make the movie. They only make the movie if the story is narratively driven and will push the story on forward. So really, they could do multiple screeners for the in-house Disney family and friends, kind of get the reaction, and if the cameo roles are not that important and they're not a massive part, they could cut them out. They don't need to be in there because what you don't realize is these test screeners, they're just like basically rough cuts. They're not the finished movie. They could cut that part of the story out and no one be any the wiser, just like in these trailers when these trailers are very misleading. So in today's video, we've gone over Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4 with Tobey and Andrew. We've also gone over a bunch of Doctor Strange 2 potential leaks, which you guys seem to love. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Twitter at WarstuG. I'm trying to build a community over there. I've got like 12 followers, or is it 13? I lose count. And also check us out on twitch.tv/Warstu. We'll be streaming over there very, very soon. But more importantly, thank you very much for making it this part of the video. If you have, hashtag Warstuverse and Warheads. And if you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, comment 500 times, share the video everywhere, and then we'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.